Hi David, hi Masterclass. This is Shannon and this is my horse Hamish. And we're coming to you from Canada. It's cold, so we have our wintries on, him and I both. But we are looking for some help, and I'm hoping that David, you can give us a hand with some of the challenges that we're facing. Hamish is a 9-year-old warm-blood gelding, and I've had him for just a little over 18 months. When I purchased him from his breeder, so he's only had one home prior to me. When I purchased him from his breeder, he had been ridden under saddle for a number of years, and he's right brain introvert personality. He's actually an axis point, so in any given day I can see mildly all 4 personalities, but he is right brain introvert innately. His breeder, although they were lovely people, they had always done things to him instead of with him. And so they put him on cross ties, saddled him up, took him out, rode him, put him away. And he had learned that routine very well. And when I got him, of course, being a Prelly student, we do things together. And when I gave him a voice, he had an awful lot to say, and a lot of it wasn't very good. So the first year of our time together was him running from me and me trying to interact with him and create a partnership. And we've got a pretty good partnership going now. He waits at the gate for me. I can play with him at liberty and he doesn't leave. And we have a lot of really good things going on. And there's a lot of things about this horse I really like. But there are some major foundational holes still in his learning. And one of the things when I first got him that I discovered was there was a big hole in saddling. He was very bracy and very unconfident about saddling, the physical act of putting the saddle pad, the saddle, and the girth on. So I spent a lot of time with that. My theory is if I cannot saddle him at liberty, I shouldn't be putting my leg over him. So now I can saddle him at liberty or with the line on the ground, but he is still, I think, although he's tolerating saddling, he's not an active participant, and we're not really accepting the saddle yet. So I'd like to sort of show you where we're at and what I'm doing to help him with that and to improve that. And I'd really like your input on maybe how to progress with it, and maybe you have another way of doing things that might be more beneficial to helping him with that. One other thing is he's completely different on the left side than on the right side. Everything in his previous life was done on the left, so he's very confident with me on the left, and when I come to the right side, he's very unconfident. So he's like playing with 2 different horses that way. So I always send him to the saddle before I do anything, just to be sure that he's okay. And he's very positive and very curious about the saddle and the pad, and he'll take the pad and throw it around and play with it and put it in his mouth. But when it comes time to actually put it on, well, you'll see that he gets very unconfident about it, and he would really rather leave. So here's what we have going on, and we really, really appreciate any help you can give us.
What I've been doing to help Hamish with saddling is I've been taking both the saddle pad and then the saddle, and I've been rhythmically tossing it up onto his back or up onto his hindquarters or up onto his neck, just rhythmically in a pattern, waiting for him to drop his head lower than his withers. And the instant he does that, then I just stop. I just drop everything and I just stop. So that I'm sort of trying to get a conditioned response that he will have a positive response to the saddle pad or the saddle going up on his back, instead of standing with his head up in the air and his back all hollowed out. So this is what I'm doing in this piece of the clip, and the minute his head drops, I just stop everything and record that so that the next time I'll do it a little faster. This is about our 3rd session of playing with this particular task, and he's picking it up relatively quickly, so I'm very pleased with that. I'm really rewarding that head dropping. So as I approach him with the saddle today, he had the inclination to leave. He actually hasn't done this for quite a while. It used to be common for him to do this, but he's been pretty good about staying with me. And then I felt like he was blocking me, so I just waited on him for him to, interact with me and to touch the saddle. And it took quite a while, so I had sped this piece up. Now the right side is his more challenging side, and I do spend more time on the right than I do on the left, but I often start on the left to build his confidence before moving to the right. But today, the right side was actually fairly easy, and he very quickly seemed to find relaxation on this side, which was a switch for him. So every day seems to be a little different. What I really like about this session today is that he's mentally staying with me. He's been known to go comatose and go inside himself, and today his ears are clicking, he's blinking, and he just seems to be staying with me. Now, he doesn't seem to have as much issue with the girth as you might think. He actually has no negative reaction to the cinch or anything. I do it nice and slow, I move him around in between. And he's actually very fine about the girth, so it's really not an issue. So that's it. That's what we have going on at the moment. And we sure would really love your help, David, with your suggestions on how we can progress this and help this horse with saddling.